formats and best practices. Now we come across quite a few scenarios on our day-to-day where it is about, you're talking to clients, you're talking to other businesses, and it's become a mode of communication between, your colleagues, your businesses or different partners. What we are going to be focusing on is mainly the commercial aspect, the more professional kind of thing, because when you're sending an email to your close relative or a friend, the structure really doesn't matter, right? But when you're sending it out to a corporate or more of a professional scenario, you have to have the right meaning, the context, and everything needs to be presented in a certain way. Think about it this way. When you meet somebody or when you're pitching your business or someone is pitching their business to you, right? It is, what do we look at? We look at how the presentation is of the person, how they speak, what the demeanor is, what their mannerisms are. And, that's how we perceive people. And the more professional people are, is you tend to deal with them, right? It is all about perception and how you present yourself. And I think that comes along, it comes through very strongly if you're writing an email, right? People want to know, people want to see whether that there is a proper structure to the email, if the presentation is a certain way. And, that's how people are pretty much perceiving you, right? So that's what I want to look at, right? So if you read through this particular part, it's like when you're emailing a friend, there is not much risk in getting your words or meaning wrong, but there's little risk of hurting your reputation. But when you're writing a business email, there is so many things that can go wrong. You put a typo, like a simple mistake in typo, people just lose interest. Like, oh, he didn't even put, or he or she didn't put any effort in terms of, proofreading or spell check. And to be honest, that becomes a major thing, especially where I come from, my part of the world where English is not my first language. And I was always scared. I'm like, okay, can I spell it the right way? Am I writing the sentence in the right way? Am I using the connotations in the right way? So it comes through time. You have to keep practicing writing these emails. You have to do a lot of reading so that, get your grammar and vocabulary all okay. But, this is what I'm trying to get at. The format, as long as the format and everything is good, that other things in terms of your English and spellings, and you've got so many different things right now that assist you with spell check, and, you get that little line underneath if there's a grammar problem. All those things can be taken care of, but as long as we get the structure right? So we'll just go over a few ins and outs and what goes into an email structure. And yeah, I'll show you a few sample emails at the end of the presentation as well. Before you choose out, a lot of people don't understand this, but the aesthetics. Aesthetics means the presentation of a formal email. You want to make sure it's appealing or it looks professional, right? Like what I said, is when people see you, they want to see your demeanor, they want to see how you're dressed, they want to see if you're professional. Same thing with an email. You're dressing up your email in a certain way where it looks presentable, where it comes to choice of font, the size of the font and stuff like that as well. So the normal stuff that a lot of people use these days is the choice of font. So I'm just going to start here. In the choice of font, it's always better to go with a safe bet instead of creative. A lot of people like the whole cursive writing and calligraphy and stuff like that, but the formal essence is like how you go to work, right? When you look at somebody wearing a suit and a tie, even though it could be boring, it is the way to present yourself. A proper suit, proper tie, formal shoes. In terms of ladies, obviously you have your suits, you have religious wear, you have other kind of wear which is considered formal, also not too loud. Like you're not going to a wedding, you're going to work. So it's the same thing in an email. When emails are being exchanged in a very professional environment, people expect you to be professional. So always choose a font that's easy to read, right? And when people are reading through, you'll always see, even in books, there's certain fonts that people use. Simple block letters or simple that's easy to read, rather than very fancy cursive writing and stuff like that, which I said. So I would suggest going with fonts like Georgia, Verdana, Arial, or Times New Roman. My personal favorites are the Arial, Times New Roman. Times New Roman is very standard. So when I think that, okay, you know what, I just want this email to stand out a little bit, so people are like, okay, it's not the normal email, but still professional, I go with Arial. And with font size, I like to choose between 10 or 11 size, right? 12 if you want it to pop out a bit more, I do this with management sometimes when I'm sending an email to the management and I put 12 because then it just pops out a bit more and they know that, okay, fine, I need to read this a bit more because Ricky's sending me on a bigger font. And sometimes I use highlights as well in terms of I make certain parts of the email a little bold, which entails that, okay, this is exactly what I want you to focus on, right? So it's pretty much like when you were doing your studying, right? Or you're writing something, or you want to remember something when you're studying, is you highlight something or you make it bold. Use those mechanisms in the back of your head. Sometimes, like, say you're writing an email to me, like, Mr. Ricky, I've written this thing. I want you to have a look at paragraph 6, 7, 8, right? And then when you're writing the whole email, you obviously got 7, 8, 9 paragraphs, but you already mentioned 6, 7, 8. You just highlight or you bolden paragraph 6, 7, and 8. So I'm like, okay, you know what? She had mentioned that for me to focus on 6, 7, 8. So and they made it bold, so my focus is already there. It just makes it easier in terms of the reader to have access. So, like I said, choice of font, that's your beginning. Please feel free to choose whatever you like, which you think is professional. You can obviously go online, have a look at fonts that you think is good. So now what I was talking about was the professional email address, right? Now, why is this important? This is one of the first few things that I look at when I'm getting an email. Is there are loads of emails that come through these days from various different vendors, various different people that, you know, they want business, they want to talk to you, but there's also this whole thing about scams, right? So your email address is normally something that you're looking at. I mean, I know there are a lot of freelancers, there are a lot of people who are starting off their own business and stuff like that. And a lot of people use Gmail for their businesses. But when it comes to sending out emails and how you want people to perceive you, if you're in a business, I would strongly recommend that you use a professional or business email address. Now, if it's so personal, if anyone's in university or, you know, you're doing charity work or whatever it is that doesn't require, or you're reaching out to employers where you're looking out for jobs or you're sending emails to universities, fine. Email address is good. But like I said at the beginning, the whole context of this is on the professional side of things, so I'll stick to this. Like your emails that are being set up normally in your organization are completely out of your control, which is a good thing in a way because your IT specialists are looking at making sure that, you know, your email is with the right domain name, your name is properly visible on the email. Because the first thing that I look at, especially after locating a few scams in the market, is I'll always look at the rate, what is the name of the company, right? And that helps me believe. And the first thing I do is I go on Google, I see what the company is all about. And that's when I go through the contents of the email. So the emails in my organization, right, are following a particular format, which is my name at the rate of the companyname.com. And this ensures that, make sure that we all have a professional business email address, since only the name of the owner or, you know, the owner of the company can issue email addresses under that domain name. And it makes sure that, you know, the email appears legitimate, right? If every employee, like I said, had a random Gmail address, like name of the company at gmail.com, which anyone can create, it would just become a bit suspicious. I'm not implying that any one of you are doing anything suspicious, but when it comes to professional email writing, whether you receive or you send out emails, it's always better to have a domain. Now, if you're a freelancer professional working separately, like I said, consider buying a domain name from your personal brand. I know sometimes it can get confusing, but it's the perception. So it's more of an investment to building your brand and making sure you are presenting yourself in the right way. Because the second I see someone saying xyz@gmail.com, hi, I've set up a new company, I'm like, okay, you could spend $10 or whatever it is to get into a domain name. And it's how you're presenting yourself, right? So that's very important. So using a professional email address. The next thing that I want to dive in is about subject lines. It is one of the most important things about writing an email is your subject line, because when you open your inbox, all you're getting to see is subject lines, right? And you get to choose, or I would get to choose which one I want to open first in terms of importance, right? Yes, sender is important, probably something from the MD that comes and is sitting at the bottom of the pile. I'll open that first as well. But when I'm getting other emails, I would be skimming through the subject lines. Like even if you're getting emails today on your Gmail account or Hotmail account, whatever it is. I'm sure you guys get tons of emails. The subject line is the one that attracts you to the most, right? Now, for me, if I have a certain interest, like I really enjoy watching and following cricket. If something comes from the ICC, like, you know what, the World Cup tickets are out. Guess what? I'm opening that email first. If I get something, oops, sorry, that's my cuckoo clock. If I'm getting something from, say, an institution that I really like to follow, like a big company like a JLL or something like a CBRE, and they're sending out the newsletter, that's the first thing that I'm going to open. So like I said, the subject line would be a very important element in your formal email writing skills. And, you know, it's the first thing that your recipient will see. And they'll see whether it's safe. They'll look at your domain, obviously. They'll see if it's relevant, right? And then they'll see the priority. Right? Like I said, if it's from the MD, the priority really doesn't matter because I'm going to open that email first. When it comes to other emails that I get from during the day, like on average, I get about 70 emails a day, right? So I need to skim through and make sure which one's more important. So that's what I look at the subject line, right? What your subject line should be, it should be relevant to the content of your email, right? It shouldn't be, please refrain from using hi, XYZ here. I will not open that email. No one in a professional environment will open that email. You have to be talking about, if you're talking about, say, for example, leave of application, right? You want to request a leave of application. Your subject line should say request for leave, right? You want to talk about, say, urgent processing of an order. Right? Maybe you send me an email a couple of times. I haven't gone around to it. Now it's reaching the deadline. Processing order urgent, right? And there's a thing on Outlook where you can make it an important or an urgent email by clicking on the red exclamation mark, and it becomes urgent, right? Say let's take it down a notch where you want to say probably talk about you want to set up a meeting, right? You want to see me to discuss a few things. Request for meeting. That's the subject line, right? It has to be relevant. It has to, because when I'm opening that email, I'm already in that mindset where I'm like, okay, I'm opening this email. This is what the content will be, right? And it shouldn't be a very long subject line. I would like to meet you to request a meeting. No. Requesting meeting. Leave, request for leave. Or if you want my opinion, please, yeah, look, you could just be like, you know what, requesting opinion, right? Like you know, that's the format. You like 2 or 3 words to narrow it down and just focus on the content of the email. So when I open it, I know this is what the email is about, and it would help me determine whether it's important. Like when you say processing time urgently required, okay, this they mentioned it's urgent, and as soon as I see urgent, I see the subject line. Because you've used the same subject line, which is like requesting input or whatever it is. And I'm like, oh, yes, they have sent me 2 emails. I forgot to email them back, which, by the way, it never should be. You should always respond to your emails. But if I see that and you kept the same subject line, now you've hit urgent, you have hit the nail on the head. And now this person is going to actually look at every little bit. They're going to go back to your previous emails and make sure everything's done at the right way. Right? So, like I said, it should be clear and specific. Like you find out how to double your business in a week. I'm never going to email. I'm never going to open that email. Right? If you're selling your business, you would be like requesting an appointment. Right? Let's meet for coffee, or let's have a chat. Do you want to increase your business? You know, something a bit more concise to the point, right? And I always go with requesting meeting, because when they see the domain name, they see requesting meeting, they do a bit of Google search, and then obviously they open my email. They're like, okay, this person's calling me to request a meeting. That's it, right? Don't use your common line templates. Make your emails more personal, I would say. It shouldn't be like, you know, like what I said, find out how to double your business in a week. No. Guess what? You're not the only person using it. A lot of different people use it. So be a bit different, be a bit more original, be a bit personal. I feel that's what's missing today, where people just tend to copy paste of Google and that's it, they do it. And then add relevancy, right? address something that the person will recognize, like an acquaintance name or an article. So if, like I said, you're requesting and you got this, say you got my contact details from the organization, right? And now you want to reach out to me, right? So you go requesting meeting, hyphen, and you go reference the name of the organization, right? And automatically, as you use the reference of the name of the organization, it's going to be like, hold on, I have done that presentation in the past. So there's someone reaching out to me based on that. You know what I mean? So even that at that time, when you go using your Gmail address, I'm like, okay, you know what? I feel a bit safe because I know you are not an organization, but you're actually reaching out to me based on the presentation I've done today. So the subject line goes requesting meeting, reference the name of the organization, right? Women and children in need. And I go like, hey, yes, okay, this one seems legitimate. I'll still be a bit skeptical, but I'll definitely have a look at it. You know, so that's where you get the attention of the person. Moving on to the next one, email introduction. Very important. You've got my attention now. I've clicked on the email. You open it up. Here comes the introduction. Think of it as an interview. When you go in for an interview, what's the first thing you say? My name is this. Thank you for having me. Thank you for your time. Stuff like that. So you're setting the tone for the rest of your email, right? Now, when you're talking to your colleague or your boss or whoever it is, obviously you don't need a whole, hi, my name is this and this, but an introduction is still, I'm writing to you because of this. The subject line is requesting a meeting. Hello, I would like to request a meeting based on our earlier discussions or stuff like that. So you're introducing yourself or you're introducing the whole part of the reason that you're sending across, right? Like the subject line, right? The email opening is mostly used as a filtering stage for most people. Like you got me interested, you're requesting the meeting, and the next thing I know is you're requesting something else. Right. So at that time, I'm like, okay, why is this relevant? The subject line says something else. The introduction is something else. How is this relevant? So that's where you have to be. You have to use the introduction where you have to focus on your points. You have to get this thing across where you have to clearly convey your request because you have to make sure that the reader finds it relevant and interesting, right? And you have to stay on point because if you go off point, that's it. When it's a different scenario, you will completely lose the person if he or she's having a busy day. You've shared a proper subject line, but your introduction is irrelevant. They'll just lose you. They're like, okay, fine. You know what? I'll put you on the back burner. I've got more important things to look at, right? Always start your emails like with dear sir. Never do hi, hello, any informal greetings. Always start an email saying, dear Mr. XYZ, dear Miss XYZ. Now it's a cultural thing, right? Like in the West, you normally use the first name, right? In the Middle East, a lot of people like to use Mr. first name, right? I am a big fan of using, if I use Mr. or Miss, I'm using the last name. And if I'm going to be calling somebody by the first name, I just go dear first name, like dear Ricky, right? Dear Waris. Now, if it's your first email to them, yes, dear Mr., dear Miss, so whatever it is. But if it is a continuous email and you move over to your first name, then I go dear Waris rather than the first one, dear Mr. Waris. Couple of emails goes back and forth, and then I go to dear Waris once I have a conversation with him. That's fine, right? But who you're typing to, always look at the cultural side of things and understand what works, what doesn't work, especially in India, Pakistan, Afghanistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. A lot of people like to use the word sir, right? Dear sir, dear this, dear miss. I'm not a big fan of it, but whatever works. I would rather have you address people by name. First, last, Mr., Miss, doesn't matter, but at least a name needs to go in there if you know who you're writing it to. Good morning, Mr. So-and-so. Good afternoon, Mr. So-and-so. Or if you don't know who you're typing to, you're sending a generic to whom it may concern. That's fine as well. But please avoid, hey, hello, any other connotation that you would normally use, I would avoid, okay? The next one that you'll move on to is the email body. All right, now the email body is where you get into your main message, right? Whether you're composing an email to establish a new business, or just following up on a meeting or following up on a conversation, the body of the email should be detailed enough so that the reader isn't confused. Okay, and also brief. Nobody likes a very long email unless you're obviously putting in a complaint. If you want to go in and you're requesting for a business or you're requesting for some information or something of that sort, you want to make sure that it's brief and to the point, right? I personally don't like to read a very long email. I like probably 1, 2, 3, 3 paragraphs at best, and each paragraph maybe 2 to 3 lines tops, right? That's where you want to just make it concise, to the point, and that's it. Because otherwise you have a conversation, and nobody likes to have a long conversation on emails. Emails is mainly used for sending the information across, getting your point of view, and that's it, right? So in terms of your email body, I would say just be very concise, be detailed but concise, and use words that just show that it's very personal. Like I said earlier, a lot of things that I'm missing today is the personal touch. The personal touch is completely gone. Everyone likes to cut, copy, paste, and stuff like that. If you use words that really mean something to you, it will show to that other person, and they will obviously take effect. Like, I'm glad that we could have met. I'm very confident that I will be able to prove to you that I'm capable of my capabilities. I can achieve as per my capabilities. These are things that you're showing your side of the story. You're showing your true self by using words that that means something to you. When asking for something, always use the word because, right? And it has been scientifically shown that people are more easily convinced to do something if told why and what is the reason. Like, I would like you to consider me for promotion because I have achieved this. Rather than going, I would like you to consider me for a promotion. I'll be like, for what? What have you achieved? Even though I know you've been here for 5 years and you've done a lot. But when you're requesting something, always put in a reason. Because I have done this, and this, I would like to get your business because I have been in the industry for 17 years. I have always put my clients in front of me because my clients are always my top priority. Because always give a little bit of reasoning when you're asking for something, right? It's like when my son comes to me, he goes like, today I think you should buy me a toy because I did this, and I laugh because I'm like, this kid is already stating emails, but in a verbal way because he wants something. He's using why he needs it. I mean, why he deserves it, right? So always use whenever you're requesting something or when you're asking for something, because when you're requesting for leave, I like to go on leave because I want to go see my family. I would like to take a sick day, or I want to take a personal day off because I want to spend time with my kids, right? Give them the genuine reason, and that's it. That's how you want to structure it, right? If you can't explain something in a few words, share a screenshot. That's fine. Share a video or a link that could explain better. Say if you want something done a certain way, right? And you found a video of how it's done, or you could take a video yourself, like, I want to click on this, you want to click on that, and stuff like that. You can add that as an attachment. That's not a problem. And use headings to split long content. Like, I've been in a scenario where I'm really into it, and I could have had a conversation, but it's probably I'm sending an email to somebody on a different time zone. And obviously, there's a lot of different things that you want to use. That's when your essay writing skills come into effect. And you put in a heading, a subheading, you detail it. So say you want to talk about different things as a part of an exercise. Like, say I'm sending you an email about your daily routine. So I go morning, right? And then I say you get up in the morning, you got to do a bit of exercise, you got to eat healthy and stuff like that. Afternoon, that becomes a separate subheading. I'm like, I need to focus on reading. I need to read at least 100 pages in the next hour or so and stuff like that. Evening, I want to go for a walk. So, how you structure it, you got to use headings, and it's basically using them as subsections so that your email looks much better and a bit more concise. We'll move on to the next one. We're nearly coming to the end of the email now. Now, email ending is pretty much after you have discussed everything, you want to end it with the respectful and brief salutation, right? Like how I normally end my emails is, I go like, dear Mr. Waris, thank you for meeting with me. I hope I could have, I hope you have all the information that you need. Please find attached a few of the details of this property. Now I'm going to end that email. The email is, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Or please do not hesitate to contact me if you have any questions. It's just reiterating the fact that you have discussed everything in your email, and now you're closing it out, and you're making sure that if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Or if you have any other, please or you visit our website if you want to see what are the services we provide, right? Please free to give me a call. If any of the content above, you have any doubt with any of the content above, please reach out to me. I also use this sometimes when I'm sending an email with information. Hope the above information was helpful. Please feel free to contact me if you have any questions. I'll be happy to help, right? And if it was a very long email, say you discussed why the 10 different reasons of why you should be promoted, always good to circle back. Hope the above was sufficient for you to consider my request for a promotion. So you said at the beginning of your email, I'd like to meet you to discuss my promotion. Your body of the email talks about why you need the promotion. You use the word because. I have done this. And then you end the email, hope the above, was sufficient enough, or it proves that I am worthy of the promotion and I look forward to talking with you. That just puts that's you're requesting for another meeting, you're requesting for feedback, you're requesting for the other person, and the other person feel like, you know what, you're open to communication. So you started off and now you're ending it off with a request or something that you're telling the other person that I'm available to have a conversation, right? And that's pretty much in it. It could be one line, it could be 2 lines most. My thing is hardly 10 words. The thing is just you're ending the email, right? It's just like as if you're writing a letter, That's how it is. You just end it nice and easy, and then you move on to sign off. Always use best regards, sincerely, kind regards, right? You want to look at something else, like normally it's, if you just say, think about it this way. You send an email, you done your email ending and everything, and you just put Ricky at the bottom. There is nothing in terms of where it's formal and you're ending it off on a nice note. Always say best regards, kind regards, yours sincerely, something that a lot of people use. I wouldn't make it something too personal, right? Like love you always or stuff like that, because that's not professional, that's more personal. Always when it comes to a professional environment, best regards, yours sincerely, kind regards. I always use kind regards. That's my go-to if you want to use it, but it should be appropriate to your email and to your recipient, right? And then your email signature is your wave of goodbye. And this has a major impression of what you've conveyed in the message or in the email so far. Is like you want to make it memorable, you want to make it aesthetic, it's your company logo, it's your name, it's your position and stuff like that. And that's what people look at. When the email says your name, your designation, the name of your company, your telephone number, your email address, and the website of your company, you've given them everything, every bit of information that they can reach out to you, right? If this kind of format is not followed or stuff like that, it kind of puts your authenticity into doubt, where you wrote the nice email, you requested for the business, you requested for a meeting, or you requested for something or an interview, right? And you just end up with just your first name. Like, nah. It's like people look at you from the top to the bottom when it comes from your haircut, to your suit, to your dress, to your shoes. This could be that last little bit of thing that you're looking at, where they wanna make the final judgment whether they want to do business with you, or they want to talk to you, or they want to enlighten, they want to talk to you in terms of your request and stuff like that. So always when you're doing a professional email, make sure, if your company doesn't do it, I would strongly recommend you speak to your IT to set this up, is you use your name, conversation, like this is what I normally did, is I use my first and last name, my title, name of the company could be next to it or below it, or your logo comes on the right-hand side, telephone number, email address, and the website. You're given your person every single point to contact you, every single bit of information to get in touch with you, and obviously in the earlier how you close out, you've already said if you feel free, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. That's, and you're ending it with, this is how you can reach out to me, right? So that pretty much sums up how the email should be written out. Now, a few things that I'm just going to go through. I can see I'm coming to the top of the hour, so I don't want to keep you for long. I'm sure you guys have a lot to do on your Sunday. So I've just taken a few email content from the internet to show you a few examples of how certain emails need to be written, right? Now, the first one is a thank you email. Say you got an email for a job interview, right? How would you respond? So this is the body of the email. You go, dear name of hiring manager. So say, dear Mr. Ricky or Mr. Ghosh. You always look at the email that you get. Now you can use either the first name or the last name. Like I said, if it's my first email I'm writing out, I would use dear Mr. or Miss, last name, right? So for me, it would be Ghosh, right? So if I'm sending out, hi, like, congratulations, it's your job offer or whatever it is, or job interview, sorry, you would go, dear Mr. Ghosh, I enjoyed speaking with you the other day at the interview for the role, say for a property consultant. The job appears to be an ideal match for my skills, ambitions, and interests. The innovative approach, the corporate culture within the job field, within the real estate industry world, confirm my wish to work at your firm. I will bring my skills, assertiveness, and ability to engage others to work in a cooperative way within the real estate department. Thank you for taking the time to interview me. I have a high level of interest. Look forward to hearing from you. Best regards, your name. Right? Beginning, dear, that was your opening. Your first, obviously, the email body, your introduction, enjoyed speaking with you. Then obviously your email body is the innovative approach, and I will bring my skills, which is talking about the big cause, why you want to interview me, why I'm good for the company. And thank you for your time for the interview of the position. That's your email ending, best regards, and your name, right? Now, if you're working for a company, obviously, and this is a thank you email for a different business, obviously you'll have your name of the company and stuff like that, but this is just a job interview, so you're just responding to the interview request, right? Now, the next one would be, say, an introduction email to a client, right? Again, start off with dear sir, madam is what I purposely put there because the culture is sir, madam, but I also put a name because I use name. I would like a moment to introduce myself and my company. My name is Prasenjit Ghosh, and I am a salesperson, or I'm a property consultant at XYZ company. Our company provides customers cutting-edge technology for all their email signature needs. At this company, there are a number of the because, why they're considering you. The because comes into the body of the email. This company, there are a number of services, such as this. Our employees are highly motivated and dedicated and willing to help you with every need. This is the because of why you need to hire us, because we put the customer always first. I would love the opportunity to meet or speak with you to discuss your needs further and tell you more. You can contact me with any questions you have. That's your ending. It is, if you have any questions, get in touch with me. There we go. You can contact me if you have any questions that you have. And you ended it with, I would love the opportunity of making a request, tell you more about how the company is, telling you more about how we can help you. Thank you, the name, company details, and stuff like that. That'll be about it, right? Letter of apology to a client. That it comes, this happens. I hope it doesn't happen, but it does happen. Dear client's name, please accept my deepest apologies on behalf of the company, right? You're getting into the subject line, you're doing the email introduction. Because the client, as soon as they see the subject, they'll see apology, then they'll go as deepest apologies. Okay, great. I want to thank you for bringing these issues to my attention. And please know that we're making an effort. This is your email body, right? Why I'm sending you that email. I will make sure that these events don't happen, right? Please know, because the reason I'm sending you this email is because you have pointed out these issues to us, and we will make sure that these don't happen in the future again. You're closing out as a token of our apology. Please accept a gift card or whatever it is that can be used in a restaurant or whatever in the future. I hope to see you again soon. Right? Yours sincerely, that's your ending. Simple, precise. Like I said, 2 to 3 paragraphs is what I do in an email. Keep it to the point. You have sent your message across and you have followed the structure of your opening line, your email body, your email ending, your salutation, which is kind regards, your sincerely best regards, and your name. Right? Apology email to a manager. Dear manager's name, I owe you an apology. That's your email introduction. I owe you an apology, so that the manager has opened the email, seeing the subject line, letter of apology. They come in, the first thing they're looking at is your introduction. Owe you an apology for providing you with the wrong information, It wasn't my intention to mislead you, and seeing that the false was a careless mistake. This is your because, right? I'm sure I'll be able to be more thoughtful, but it was because of a careless mistake. You're given the content, the reason of what happened, and you're accepting your mistake. Please do not hesitate to share any thoughts or concerns with me, and I'm glad to discuss this further, right? Best regards, your name. And that's it. Asking for a raise. Dear sir, madam, I've greatly enjoyed working at your company over the last 3 years. During the 3 years, I feel I've become a valuable member of your team. Since working here, sorry, that's my daughter calling out, so I apologize. Yes, Sarah, give me 2 more minutes. The because comes here. As an employee, I think I've outperformed the goal set for me. As a result, I would like to have an opportunity to discuss increasing my salary so that it matches my current performance. That's your because, that's your content. That's, the meat, right, where you put it. And once again, I'm grateful to be a part of this organization. That's your email ending. That provides me a unique channel, opportunity to continuously learn and grow. Best regards. Very good opening, introduction, content. The because is right there. Then you're closing, and your best regards. Asking manager for help, same structure. Dear Mr. Miss, I would like to bring to your attention the incident that occurred at location, at date and time. That's your introduction. Okay, I've opened this email. He asked me for help. What is this for? Bang. Bring to your attention about this incident. Okay, what was the incident? I was deeply upset by the action of the coworker. I tried to speak with them, but this did not lead to any sort of resolution. And now I feel as it is our professional relationship at work is strained as a result. This is why I want to speak to you. This is the because. I'm turning to you for assistance with the matter, and I hope that you're able to come up with a solution. Okay, so that's your content. That's your main email content in the middle, right? 1-2 lines, 2-3 sentences, easy. Closing out, thank you for taking the matter seriously, and please let me know if you have any questions or concerns. Yours sincerely, right? Email to schedule a meeting. Hi, Mr. Waris, thanks for getting in touch with us about our product. This is when I've received an inquiry. I'd be glad to set up a meeting in order to give you more information, answer your question, and show you how we can work as a business. So this is someone who has responded to your previous email when you have sent out your company profile and a discussion. You said, please reach out to me if you have any questions. They've gotten in touch. So now you're responding back to them. Thanks for getting in touch about our product. And I'll be glad to set up a meeting in order to give you more information, answer your questions, show you how it can work for your business. Does this work for you? Does this date and time work for you? I look forward to meeting with you soon. Best regards, Name. You see, this one, best, is also something that's used in Europe quite a bit, especially in England, best. Kind of make a short form, I would put in regards, but that's just an example. Acceptance email. Dear Mr. Miss, it's my pleasure to inform you that I will be accepting your offer of employment with the job title with the company. So say you got a position of senior manager with company XYZ. The goals for this role that you describe are in line with my personal career aspirations, and I hope to be able to learn and grow in this role. As discussed in our previous meeting, my salary will be this, and I'll be starting on this date. I appreciate all the time that you took an interview. Seamless as well. I look forward to working with you soon. Now, one bit that you can remove is that my salary bit. I put in there because I got this recently and I wanted to make a point. If HR has already sent you your offer letter with the salary and everything, you don't need to mention it. You just said, as discussed in our previous meeting, I will be starting on this date, right? I got this email once and I was CC'd on this email with HR where they said my salary will be so and so. And I was like, you don't need to share that information with me. That's between you and HR, right? That is a little bit of a cultural thing which I want to point across today. And I can tell you that I told HR to make sure that the person knows that this personal information is not shared. Certain things you need to talk about, great. Talking about roles and aspirations and your career aspirations, but your salary is not for anybody to know. between you and HR. I just let them know that thank you for accepting. I mean, I'm happy to accept your job offer for this and this. I look forward to working with you and improve my career aspirations and my goals. As discussed, I'll be starting on this date and appreciate all the time that you look, and I look forward to working with you. Simple and concise, right? Job rejection email. You don't want the job? There's a way to do that as well. Dear Mr. Varis, this to inform you that I will not be proceeding in the interview process for so-and-so job title and the company. I would like to formally withdraw my candidacy. Or if you don't like it, I would like to let you know that I will not be accepting your job offer as it doesn't align with my career goals and aspirations as was discussed in the interview, right? At this time, I have accepted a position with another company, so I'm no longer in search of employment. However, I would like to sincerely thank you for taking the time to meet me and for being attentive. That's your because. The reason I am not accepting, I've gotten the job offer, or your company offer wasn't in line with my salary expectations. That's your because. 1-2 sentences, precise, right? It was a pleasure meeting with you. That's your email ending. And I wish you good luck in finding the right candidate for the job. Best regards or kind regards, your name, right? So as you can see, over the last few examples, all of them have the same format. All of them have a similar format. It is your introduction, it is the body, which is your because, it is your ending, you're reiterating the fact, and you're asking for, if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Everyone follows a very similar format. And then it's the best regards in your name and stuff like that. And if you see in all the emails, it's been 2 to 3 sentences, 2 to 3 paragraphs. That's it. Clear, concise, and to the point. That's how you want to be. That's where you want to be with all of your emails, right? And the final checks, and this I do religiously, is I always proofread an email. Because say you got a job offer, right? And you're sending an email with a load of spelling mistakes and there's no connotation, there's no commas, there's no full stops and stuff like that. You're already creating a wrong impression with HR. Like, oh, who did we hire? They couldn't even write a simple email. That's how it's become now in the industry, where people are, because they want to see how you can present yourself and how your emails will come across and what's the way you communicate. So always proofread your emails. Always see if it's to the point. English is not my first language, so I always do spell checks just to make sure that I'm not making any mistakes. I always make sure that I'm responding to the right person in the email. Now, there's a lot of emails that come in from one person, but there are 10 people CC'd in the email, right? It could be your line manager, it could be somebody else. So whenever you see an email where there are people in CC, press reply all, right? If it's a more personal way of doing it, say somebody's asked you, well, I need this, why haven't you done this? Now, you don't want to get into the open and explain this thing to everybody, and you feel that you want to just request a meeting to discuss it. You just hit reply and just respond to that one person, saying, I'm happy to discuss this a bit more, but I would like to do it in person, right? For that, the 10 other people in CC don't need to know, right? Because you feel that instead of becoming a keyboard warrior where you're just sending emails back and forth and 10 other people are watching this exchange between other people, you feel that you just want to get in touch with one person and speak to them. You just should reply to that only one person, right? But say someone said, please provide a reason for your leave, and you've seen your line manager or your HR manager in CC, right? You want to make sure that the HR manager knows that what is the reason. I'm like, yes, this is the reason I want to request leave. Hope this can be approved. Bang. Okay, reply all for that is fine. But on certain scenarios, situation where you feel that you need to speak to that person before or have a one-on-one before you dive into that whole big exchange of emails, just hit reply. So always make sure you respond to the right person. And say someone sends you an email, hello, can you please send an email to this person? She's on CC, and make sure this is taken care of. So you are sending an email to that person on CC only, not to the person who sent you that email, because that person, him or her, have just passed on the back end saying, send this information to this one. And that's it. If they say, please send this information and please keep me copied on the emails or your further communication, yes, you can hit reply all. But if they said, pass it along and they're giving you specific instruction that you have to speak to that person only, that's where it goes. Always respond to an email and within an acceptable time frame. Please, everyone, always send an email within the same day if possible. If information's been requested to you from you, and you can't get it done within the same day, respond. Thank you for your email. I will be looking into this matter. I need another day to respond to your query because I need to do this, XYZ. You should be hearing from me by the end of business day tomorrow. Please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions. Kind regards, XYZ. Right? Make sure your name and contact details are right in every email. If anything's changed, your extension numbers change, your email address is changed, anything's changed, make sure it's in the bottom where your information is, so that you're always given the right information for people to get in touch with. A lot of people will call you, and if your telephone number's changed and it's the wrong person, they're like, oh, we can't even get in touch, then they're sending an email. That's fine. But when someone's calling you, you want to make sure that they've got the right information. Use the right salutations, Mr. Miss, kind regards, best regards. Always be formal, always be polite in what you use. Do not use casual terms or informal terms. See you later, catch you later, catch you on the flip side. Look forward to meeting you. Look forward to seeing you soon. Look forward to hearing from you, right? Best regards. Those are the things that you need to use. And please spell check one more time, because I have been caught out a few times where I did this whole thing. I'm rushing to an email and I didn't spell check, and I've sent an email to the MD of the company with a couple of spelling mistakes, and I get a call from him like, Ricky, what have you done? Should I send you back to school? So, but again, it's a cultural thing, like I said. But yeah, so it's the last bit of thing. And I do this because that's the reason I do small emails, so it's easy to do spell checks. And yeah. Hopefully, we won't be having those issues anymore where you're just typing something and I can see on Gmail you're typing something and the sentence is already typed out for you. So spell checks might get irrelevant in the near future. But yeah, that was me. All of you, thank you so much. I hope I was able to add a bit of value, and this session was a bit fruitful.